I've actually never seen anything like this. I mean,
or in your car.
You see how messed up it is over there? Look at that. Look at that. That is from illegal migrants over into that country, completely taken over.
Or in your car.
Crazy.
Illegal immigration in Europe is out of control. It is affecting every single person living in Europe, not just financially, because many illegal immigrants are asylum seekers. They're dependent on welfare systems of European countries, which are very extensive. But they're also affected when it comes to safety. I was just speaking to my family, and they love going to Christmas markets, just opened to Germany or Austria. But now they're like, well, actually, we're not gonna go because we looked at the stats, and in the past 5 years, there's been at least one attack in these Christmas markets that we go to in Dresden every year, at least one attack every year, where a truck driven by an illegal immigrant hits the crowds, just tragic.
This is sad. It is sad for Europe, and you guys deserve better. And I'm going to get to the rest of the video shortly. But you guys absolutely deserve better. You deserve better leadership. You deserve people to uphold European standards and culture. And the fact that your culture is being completely destroyed. And I don't even really want to go to certain places anymore. Honestly, like it was on my bucket list to go to several different places in Europe. But when I go and I research it to try to understand the culture, because anywhere that you go, you want to study and understand the culture to better understand exactly how to acclimate as a tourist so that you get the best experience. Because one of the things that I like to do is I don't want to just go to the tourist areas. I've often been known, and I'm a very interesting explorer from the urban exploration here in the United States of America to all of the places that I've been outside of the country. One of the things that I like to do is I go off the beaten path of what tourists usually go to, and I want to go and see exactly what's happening in the city itself. And I am absolutely, positively dismayed. I'm not even sure that that makes sense. And I'm pretty sure that the European tourism industry is taking a hit significantly because people are starting to discover, and social media is showing the truth of what is happening over in your country.
Into the crowds, right, and kills a bunch of people. This is not okay. This is not okay. This immigration wave is really eradicating the foundation of Europe. It's eradicating cultures. It's eradicating our system of law. And these people are not. I mean, they are trying to be asylum seekers, but they're not really escaping to get to a safe place and to get a job and assimilate to the culture of the country and be a good person or a good citizen eventually. They are coming for the purpose of destroying Europe. A lot of these people are Muslims, and they are coming to destroy the Christian foundation of Europe. And I think it is important to say this and acknowledge it and do something about it. Because if we don't do anything about it, look at their birth rates. Their birth rates are like 6, 7 children per woman. Our birth rates are 1 child per woman.
So what's happening now is because you're being more responsible as a culture so that you can actually take care of the children that you have, because the more resources and the better educated that you become, the more you want to pour resources into your children, and you want to be less dependent on government services as you evolve and become more successful as a culture. What they do is that they destroy where they came from, and we often know that people that have less resources, and this is a statistical fact, this is not my opinion, tend to have way more children. So now they outbreed you. They then take over as far as the culture. They then control what happens in your municipalities. And this is what has happened here in America as well as in Europe. The benefit for us, though, is that we're actually starting to fight back as Americans and standing on what's best for America by saying, hey, we're electing a president that's not always about diversity, equity, and inclusion, because what we're discovering is that of that 42 million people that are on government assistance, there's a large group of people that are taking advantage of us and taking advantage of taxpayer dollars. The flip side of that, though, is that when you have severely heavy urban communities that vote blue, it then destroys the fabric of the country, like what's happening in Denver, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, and so on and so forth. And even Texas, where, it's majority red, but you have blue cities like Houston, Dallas, and Austin. And then you see what's happening in those cities. Houston, for example, can be used and say, well, they're going broke and they went woke and they continue to try to destroy this entire United States of America. Over in Minneapolis, Somalis, they say over 88% of them are on government assistance. We let them over here with asylum, temporary protective status, and all of that. And then now they committed a massive fraud, some of the biggest fraud in the United States of America, with unemployment, right? And then you have legislators like Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar that's saying, hey, we didn't know. Listen, go ahead and prosecute him. Well, you've already siphoned off and stole all of the money, and then you sent it back to your country, a lot of it to your country, while you were over here riding in Benzes, and we paying for this shit. So I understand what she's saying in Europe, because they're going through some of the same things that we've been going through, and we let a whole wave of them, a whole wave of these people inside of here over the last 4 years with the Biden administration. And I'm not even sure that Biden knew what was going on. He's over here eating ice cream and acting weird now. And we was going to elect him, possibly. Crazy, bro.
So just look at the math. Sooner or later, there will be no Europe as we know it.
Crazy.
So let's acknowledge it and let's start doing something about it.
Unfortunately for her, they need better leadership over there in Europe. They do. They need better leadership over in Europe, similarly to how we had to change our leadership once we got so fed up. And there's going to be some storming and some norming and some forming. And if you are in corporate America, you probably heard some of those terms as you've evolved. But, during these uncomfortable times, we have to make the country better for the generation that come after us, unlike the generation that came before us. I am what you call a geriatric millennial. And, I come from an environment and a culture where I seen, during the 90s, they sold us out and they gave our jobs away and they basically made us dependent on financing in the banks. And then they destroyed the housing industry because I believe that was manufactured. And even the Bush administration, both of them were culpable and some of the worst presidents of all time. But now we have somebody in office that actually wants and champions America first. And we want to make the country great again. And we want to continue to have investment. And we understand the value in our worth. And we're holding people accountable. And we also need to continue to hold people accountable on a local level in Congress and the Senate, House of Representatives, and our government, as far as our governors, our mayors, our aldermen, our city council people, our state representatives, all across the board. People need to be held accountable, because if you are not an America first, and again, Europe is an example of a country that has fallen because they continue to embrace diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they're letting illegal migrants come over there and continue to destroy the country. And I've seen plenty of protests against this. Let me know what you guys think inside of the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll let you guys later. Peace.